Oh, live. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 8 a.m. Mentorship Academy. Today, I am with you from the car. I am on my way to a business breakfast, but you always have to show up. So, just going to start by introducing. On Mondays, we have Revuta. On Tuesdays, we have Dr. Sunshine, who speaks about mindset change. She's a doctor of the mind. And on Wednesdays, you have myself catching you and helping you and holding your hand through being a mom and being an entrepreneur. So, mompreneur, you are all welcome. On Thursday, we have Dr. Nelly. And on Fridays, we have Health Talks by New Image. So we'll get right into it. Today is Wednesday, the 12th of November, 2025. I'm on my way to a business breakfast at Protea. And I just like to say thank you and you are welcome. So we'll just start by saying good morning and wishing you that your day is going to be great. Always start your day with intentionality and purpose. And we'll get right into it. What's today's topic? Today's topic is business growth, achieving business growth through resilience and productivity. So what we've decided to do is have a series of topics that speak into business growth, because I got quite a few WhatsApp messages yesterday saying, oh, wow, I really want to push my business and these are the challenges that I face. So I said, okay, instead of answering each person individually, why not create a series of modules that we're going to talk about? So if you want something to be addressed in terms of business growth, just send me a WhatsApp or send me a message in my LinkedIn DMs. I'm happy to be here. And today we are talking about resilience. So, what is resilience? Resilience is the ability to recover, adapt, and continue moving forward despite challenges, despite failures, despite obstacles, despite family responsibilities. You have to keep on going. And productivity is doing more. Productivity is doing what matters consistently with clarity. Clarity is the most important thing, because when you're clear, it's easier for other people to join your journey. Our goal is to grow in business or to grow as a family, and ultimately grow our confidence when it comes to speaking to others and sharing your journey and your business so that you can have buy-in from other people. Stakeholder management is what we're going to start with. Who are your stakeholders? Have you written them down? There's no business that caters to everyone. What is your niche? You know, what is even the events you go to? Why are you going to that event? Everything has to be deliberate. Have you identified whether your business is a B2B or a B2C or a B2G? This is very important, because once you do that, you're then able to sort of have a roadmap or a framework as to how you're going to grow your business. So for me, I've been juggling motherhood and my business, and there are actually times when I was managing client calls and client meetings whilst having my baby in my arms or going with the baby in a basket. This is something that I'm very proud of, because it shows the resilience that I have towards achieving my goal. I was actually picked for a program using this same resilience that I have, because I went with my daughter and they were like, oh, wow, for this person to actually pick up the daughter and get her in a basket and go for the meeting, this not only showed resilience, but it showed seriousness on my part, because I could have easily just stayed home and said, oh, I'm with my daughter, I want to stay home with her, and just cancel the whole program. But the impact that program has had, not only in terms of networks, but also in terms of knowing and understanding how to run a business, has been amazing. At the end of the hour program, what you come out with is a full business plan. And they ask you to limit that business plan to about 8 to 10 pages so that you are deliberate with what it is that you're doing. And after going through the hour program, this was so amazing, because my parents hosted me a business shower. So I'll backtrack a little bit. Before the hour program, what I did is I went through the Mindset Change program. The Mindset Change program is a program that assists you to understand what is going on in your head. What is it that is limiting you? We have what we call a burning platform, right? And on this burning platform, you identify what happened. You get in touch with what went wrong. You know, avoidance is not something that works. It doesn't work. You can't avoid your problems forever, but you have to start challenging them head on. You have to start going into what it is that you need to do. Writing down your high payoff activities. Writing down your high payoff activities lets you know to say, okay, today I must do this because it's listed down. And we use a planner. And this planner, it helps you journal. For those that already journal, that is even better, because once you then take this journal, what you journal, and put it into the MCP program and MCP planner, it gives you a deliberate roadmap. And in there are trackers that you can use to tell whether you're achieving your goals, whether you are achieving what it is that you've set out to achieve. So for me, it's been so instrumental, and I don't think without the MCP program, I don't think I would have even been selected for the AWE program, because I had tried to submit my application for the AWE program, and it's quite difficult to get in, but I was in the correct mindset. I was in a growth mindset when I applied for the AWE program. And because of that, I would like to believe that that helped me to be chosen. So now we're going to just go into what you need, the three learned lessons that I have up to where I've reached today, what I have learned. So one is focus is a resource. Protect where your energy goes. This again speaks to what I was saying in terms of the networks that you have, who is your client. So you have to focus on one thing. When you focus on one thing, it becomes easier for you to identify who your stakeholders are, who your clients are, and what you need to do. Number two is systems. You need systems in place, because systems help you stay stable even in emotional seasons, right? So systems, what they do is they give you what it is that you need to do. Do you have a checklist onboarding your clients? Do you have how to identify even who is your client? When you're onboarding, it's essential to write down to say, okay, this is the system that we use. We're going to onboard you. We're going to identify what your weaknesses are, what your strengths are, your opportunities, and the threats in where you operate. Because what I do is I'm a business consultant and business development consultant who helps businesses to identify their clients, to identify what it is that they need to do to be successful. And then number three is tapping into your challenges. From challenges, you identify the problems, and from the problems, then this creates a business. All businesses are created from identifying a problem and learning how to monetize the solution that you're giving to that problem. So, you know, the main teaching of today are the 5 ways to build business growth through resilience and productivity. So the 5 ways to build business growth through resilience and productivity. Number 1, you will know your core, know the main value. Now, know the main value of that your business offers. Do you know the value that your business offers? Can you make an elevator pitch for that? Can you explain what your business does in one sentence? Once you can explain what your business does in one sentence, it makes other people understand what you're doing better. When you are clear, distractions reduce and pricing becomes easier. And when your pricing becomes easier, then your business model means that you can thrive and other people can buy into your product. So it's so important. So I'll repeat that for those that may have missed it. Know your core. Know the main value of that your business offers. When you are clear, Distractions reduce and pricing becomes easier. Number 2, set simple systems. Using one notebook, I use the MCP planner. So use one notebook, use one business planner, one digital tool to record sales, clients, and your costs. Small systems create big clarity, because when you're not there, then your subordinates or your employees then can use this system to make decisions that align with your business. Number 3, develop a support network. No one grows alone. Choose people who encourage you, share opportunities, and want to see you succeed. And from this, your support network is where you can create your board of directors. You can have a board of directors of 3 people. It's sufficient. And those 3 people need to be very deliberate, and you need to understand what value they bring so that you can tap into the value and also give them value. And eventually, when your business grows, then you can start to give them board allowances, because then that incentivizes them to continue with you. Number 4, practice weekly business reflection. Every week, ask, what has worked? What needs to change? What new opportunity can I try? Reflection prevents repeated mistakes. I'll repeat. Practice weekly business reflection. Every week, ask yourself, what worked? What needs to change? What new opportunity can I try? Reflection prevents repeated mistakes. So you need to reflect. And in the MCP program, we have what we call the SMARTER goals. So reflection is part of the R. Reflect, review, realign. It's very, very important for you to, once you've set your goal, to constantly review, reflect, and realign what you need to do to make sure that you are achieving this set goal. So, number 5, keep your mindset in growth mode. It's not so easy to keep your mindset in growth mode, but you need to constantly make sure that this is what you are doing. A growth mindset says, I may not know everything yet, but I can learn and improve. This mindset reduces fear and increases action. So you need to make sure that you are keeping your mindset in a growth mode. You are operating not from a position of fear, you are operating from a position of growth, and you're willing to learn and grow and make sure that what you're doing is working for you. So I'll just take a moment and ask yourself clearly and quietly, where have I been holding back? Is it fear? Is it fear? Is it lack of support? Or is it simply exhaustion? Running a business can be exhausting, but you need to make sure that you're taking moments, small moments, and asking yourself where you are holding back, where you are lacking support, and where you are simply exhausted. You don't need to have everything figured out. You only need to keep showing up. I went actually, it was during my graduation, the Awe graduation, they had invited a gentleman called Dumisani. And he said, all you need to know is your next 50 meters. Your next 50 meters. What are your next 50 meters, right? So for me, I am selling ties that were gifted to me by my mom, because then these are my next 50 meters. And these ties, what they do is they allow me to generate income that can help me reduce my costs and pump into my business and make sure that the business is growing. So this is my next 50 meters, because this is then pumping the funds required for the business to be successful. There is no business that can operate with limited resources. You need to constantly find ways of putting funds into your business. I always like to share the story of Airbnb. Airbnb is a classic story, and he tried to get into Y Combinator. The first time he didn't get in, And this is a story of resilience. The first time he didn't get in, and then he went and said, okay, what is it that I can do to generate income for my business? So what he did is he took cereal. You know cereal, what we eat in the morning? Yeah. So he took cereal and changed the packaging. And at the time, America was going through elections. And he said, okay, what can I do? So he created Obama O's and Captain McCain's. And that is the first sign of an entrepreneur, when you can identify that there's something in the market that you can do and you can take advantage of. Then this becomes something that you can use. So he used this and generated income that helped him get out, because he was in debt at the time, helped him get out of debt. And then once Y Combinator identified to say, this is what this person did, oh wow, we need people like this. And what they called it, they said he's a cockroach. You know, cockroaches are resilient. Cockroaches, they go through what it is that they need to do. If they've identified that there's food here, they will keep coming. So that's what they said. And they said, we want this person to be part of our program. So he entered Y Combinator, and in there he was able to raise the financing that he needed to then push into the business. And this is where Airbnb is now. And now Airbnb, what are they? Where are they now? They are billionaires. So this is what we need to do. You always start from somewhere. All the time we're looking to be at a place where we are benefiting, but we don't want to do the hard work. So we have to do the hard work. You have to know what are your next 50 meters. This is so important for you to actually be identified and trusted as someone who will not give up, and they will keep going despite setbacks. So at this point, I will now just say, what is it that you're going to focus on? What is it that your business does that you want to make sure that others are buying into? You know, for me, I've had a dream for the longest of times. And you know, sometimes when you're dreaming and praying and dreaming and praying, other people, God will bring strangers. God will bring strangers and say, look, this is what you're doing. I've heard this is what you're doing, and I'm willing to support. And you know, sometimes you get home and you say, no, that was God. Because only through identifying that was grace that has been given by God for you, then you can know that, look, what I'm doing is correct. And like for me, I've been wanting to be at McKinney Moore for the longest of times, and I will not shy away from the fact that I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford it. And it's something that has come on board. And they said, look, we've actually been looking at this, and we've been watching you and watching your story. You can come through, have your masterclass from here. So I said, oh, wonderful. And you know, I've been looking at, there's a lot of entrepreneurs in Makeni that need space, and they can't, and we can't afford to be at a mall. And they said, okay, look, if you can gather enough people, you can do this and you can move on. And this is something that they've just said, encouraged, and said, look, we have actually been looking to set up a co-working space. So it's something which I don't take lightly, and I'm very thankful for the opportunities that are presented. And, you know, and all this, I'd like to believe, just comes from the fact that I am not giving up. I am continuing. I am pushing. I am relentless in my view to help SMEs in the way that I know best. You know, SMEs suffer from compliance issues. And this is why I said, okay, I want to help SMEs through DigiBusiness to become more compliant, to make sure that their things are in order. And because of this, ZRA is also very supportive of the interventions and initiatives that I do to help SMEs learn how to do their own returns, learn how to make sure that they are not being exploited by people charging them exorbitant fees, to make sure that their ZRA penalties are waived. You know, this is something which is so, so important. You cannot run away from regulatory issues. So you have to make sure that not only are you learning how to take care of your regulatory issues, but you are focused on what your business is doing, and you're making sure that you are in the correct tax bracket, you understand what your taxes mean, and So you can reach out to DigiBusiness. The number is scrolling down there for you to be part of our master classes. It's so important. So for this week, you need to focus on one thing that moves your business forward. If it's doing your compliance, get in touch with us. We can help you get your compliance issues in check, your NAPSA, your NEMA, your ZRA, onboarding of your staff. You need to also write down what your goals are. When you write down what your goals are, then you are able to better achieve your goals. And then you take action. Take action constantly. You repeatedly take action. Taking action. What makes you poor is passing on opportunities repeatedly by failing to take action. So you need to make sure that you are taking action. You are capable. You are building something real. You are building something real, and you are making sure that you are productive and you are intentional in what it is that you need to do. So what have I said in the call today? So I've spoken about the 5 key ways to build business growth through resilience. So number 1 was know your core, understand what your business message is, understand what it is that you need to do. What does your business do? Can you write it in a sentence? Like for DigiBusiness, the mission is to be your partner in business growth. Your partner in business growth. Not to grow the business, but for you to make sure that you're intentional for you to be growing your business. And we are here to partner with you and grow your business with you. What it is that you need, you can come through, consult, and then we can help you also come up with a strategic plan of how to achieve what it is that you need to do. Number 2, you set simple systems. Use your notebook, and I would implore you to join the MCP program. There's MCP sessions every first week and last week of every month. You need to make sure that you are going through the program, you're going through the process. Once you go through the process, then you are exposed to so many networks because of the business linkages that Dr. Sunshine has. So you need to set up simple systems, develop a supportive network, practice weekly business reflection. Practicing weekly business reflections is very, very important. Once you can reflect on what it is that you're doing, you understand what has worked in your business. So let's say, for example, you sell rice and you have identified that, okay, there's a lot of competitors that are coming into the market because a lot of people are now traveling to Mongu or to where it is to get that rice. Improve your packaging. Improve your packaging, set up an opportunity to now start exporting. Once you set up and you've identified what you need to do, you've improved your packaging, then you can then export. You can then export this. Sorry, there's a little bit of noise. As I mentioned, I'm in the car. You can export these products, and then you've opened up a market. So what new opportunities can you try? That's the new opportunity that you can try. Open up an export market. And once you've opened up that export market, then you've got more clients, you've identified what your niche is, or you can identify and say, okay, I'm only going to provide this product to, let's say, mothers. Because mothers, sometimes it's a little difficult to make sure that your rice is cooked to a level where your 1-year-old can eat, your 2-year-old can eat. So you can say, okay, as our rice, it becomes easily mushy, and this is then a niche that you can tap into. So identify what makes you unique. There's a lot of products on the market, but what makes you unique? If you can't afford to advertise, make sure your business is unique. Make sure that what you're doing is working for you. Number 5, keep your mindset in growth mode. You know, growing up, my parents have always deliberately made sure that we are always operating in growth mode. Operating in growth mode is something that needs to be deliberately done for you. It needs to deliberately you need to deliberately make sure that you are providing this conducive environment for your children. this conducive environment for their growth. And you know, my parents have also always I performed from a place of integrity. So even as your business is growing, you always have to attach integrity to what you are doing. Once you attach integrity to what you are doing, then it becomes inevitable that you are, even when corporate governance systems and come and check on what you're doing, it becomes easier for you to say, okay, look, I'm already operating close to or aligned because of the integrity. So this is so important to make sure that you are doing this. And then we reflected, we took a moment to ask ourselves, where and why have I been holding back? Is it fear of the unknown? Is it a lack of support? Is it simply exhaustion? It's very important for you to be part of an association. When you're part of an association, then it becomes, they push you what you are doing. So I belong to Zafawib, I belong to the Lusaka Chamber of Commerce, and by extension of belonging to the Lusaka Chamber of Commerce, I get information from the Zambia Chamber of Commerce. And this, and also service. Do you serve? Do you give back? A lot of people are just busy doing business, chasing profit, but they never give back. It's very important to give back. When you give back, you are identified. You are identified as someone who someone can buy into because you are real. You know, these days people want people who are real. They want people who are willing to show their scars, willing to show that they are teachable, willing to show that they can learn. So this is very important. So as I end the call, I just want to thank you for being present. Your business matters, your identity matters, and keep on growing and focusing on that one thing that keeps you moving forward. Write it down, take action, do not pass on opportunities repeatedly. Do not be poor. So you are capable and you are building something real. Thank you so much for joining the call. I love you all. Have a blessed day. I am going to the breakfast meeting to network for success. Thank you. You have to end it from where? The machine has. The laptop has died. Do I end? Unless I put it on there. I don't think it can end. Unless I just.
Inside.
Okay. No, it can't end from my phone.